fangs and fur.
Exactly. Okay, guys, we should be live. It looks like it's thinking really hard about it, but it looks like it's working. So let me... Yep, there we go. Cool. I have at least mastered that part of it. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
All right, let me drop this real quick. Everyone. Cool. Okay, so for anyone who has not gamed with me yet, hi, hello, welcome to my table. I'm so excited to have you. I think half of you have gamed with me, and I think it's only Charmed and Dorksy who have technically not gamed under me yet. I think that's right.
Correct.
Perfect. Couple things, and this is repeat for the other three, but I tend to talk a lot. It's probably why I became a GM in the first place. I like to talk. And if at any point I'm talking over like a question that you have, or if you have something you want to say or you want to interject, totally fine. As long as you're not like actively rudely talking over me, please stop me. Please jump in with, hey, clarifying question, or hey, Emma, shut up, I have a question, whatever variant of that you would like to do. That being said, I do expect it from you guys in return, though. I'm a huge narrative GM. I love to jump in and guide when needed, but for the most part, you guys are running the show and I'm just wrangling the chaos. I will obviously jump in when we need dice rolls and we need other things like that. However, for the most part, I like you guys to run the story and just kind of see where it goes. It tends to be more fun that way. For this evening, we are, as I named it further up, going through a trek through these very ominous, dark, wailing woods. You guys have been hired to escort a nobleman and a very important package that he's taking to a wedding and supposed to deliver there. And you as an adventuring group have been hired to take him through these woods. It's the fastest route, not the one most people want to take, but it's a bit of an emergency. He's kind of needs to get there on time, needs to deliver this package, the whole 9 yards. With that being said, I like to do something called team build at the beginning of my one-shots. Obviously, in a campaign frame, you guys do these before you start when you build your characters. For one-shot, it's not really necessary. So what I do instead is I have everybody pick one of their experience questions to ask someone else in the group, and we'll do a couple of my own questions as a GM for the setting, and then we'll jump right into it. I do steal from Isaac in that the only thing I ask is that everyone tries to ask a different person a question, so everyone gets asked one. If we get to the end and someone isn't, I will ask one person. That being said, let's go ahead and get the sort of awkward introductions, your name, character name, if you have preferred pronouns, and then we'll go around and do those questions. So I'm Emma, I'm your GM, she, they. If you yell loud enough, I will turn around, no problem. And I'm going to be running the show tonight. Whoever wants to go next, just be warned, I will call on people if it goes silent for too long.
I'm Joe, he, him. I am playing Helena. And Atheris Freeborn Moonwitch.
Hey, I'm Thomas. I'm playing Bram Goodfellow. He is a Hearthborn, Infernus, Furbolg, Hedgewitch.
Okay.
I'm Josh, he, him, and I'm playing Vapor Cinderbrand, a young Emberkin young fire elemental, water elemental hybrid brawler.
Awesome.
I'm Charmed, she, her, and I'm playing Onyx Cinderbrand, the older sister of Vapor, as a half sibling at least, as I'm Earthkin, Emberkin, Juggernaut Brawler.
Okay.
And I'm Ari, they, them. I'm playing Riven, an Orderborn Fungril Executioner Assassin.
Awesome. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna go to those experience questions on your detail page. Sorry, connection questions. I'm forever gonna call them experience questions because experience is right below it, and my ADHD brain wants to do that. You're just gonna pick one of those, and you can ask any person in the group. Like I said, my only rule is try to ask somebody who hasn't been asked, so that everybody gets asked one of those, and you can roll build together. I'm just going to do in reverse order if you guys don't mind. So, Ari, if you don't mind, I'm going to have you go first. If you would rather go second, that's fine as well. I just
no, I'm totally fine with going first. I just need to get all the characters up on my screen again so that I can have reference. Okay, I'm going to start with Helena. What about me frightens you?
Well, I have seen you around town, only briefly. You're very fleeting most of the time. And the way you move kind of scares me a little bit. I'm very good at looking for places where to be alone, and you seem to be very adept at getting people in places that would be uncomfortable for them.
Okay. So then, Joe, you can ask next. Just please ask somebody. Obviously, the world is your oyster at this moment because really nobody has been asked anything.
Sure. Thomas, you gave a character name, but did you give a description?
Yeah, he is. So he is an Infernus Furbolg, Hearthborn Hedgewitch.
Ah, okay, perfect. Thomas, I'm sorry, Bram. Helena once appeared to you in a dream and shared a vision of the future. What did I tell you?
You warned me of the coming death of my family, and I didn't heed your warning.
I might be able to hook you up with them later. We'll chat.
Alrighty. Thomas, that is you, my dear. And so far, just yourself and Joe have been asked questions. So you have 3 more people you can ask.
So I am going to go to Vapor. Vapor, why do you come to me for advice?
I come to you for advice because being away from home and sometimes having questions I can't ask my older sister. You're a kind of a male, older male figure that's around.
Okay.
Excellent.
Josh, that's you. You can ask either Charmed or Ari.
I mean, I feel like I gotta go for my big sis here. I still haven't forgiven you for something you said to me. What was it, and why did you say it?
Sibling rivalries can get heated.
Yeah. I. Okay. So I said. I blamed you for our father like staying by like the seaside town that we grew up in, considering I was originally from like an underground community. And this was young when we were younger, but I said it to you in a very big rage and kind of had that like resentment for a while.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, Charmed.
Younger sibling ruined my life.
I was about to say, as the oldest out of
Half
all of us.
sibling.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you.
Already poking at him. I see.
Yep.
That's how it goes. Again, as the oldest with 4 brothers and a little sister, not taking into consideration the like 19 cousins I'm older than, this is normal. Totally normal.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the oldest of 3, so I get it.
I'm not, so this is gonna be fun.
We love it. We love to get into different roles. Charmed, you get to ask Arya a question because they are the last one, but best for last, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Ori, I rely on you for something important during our travels together. What is it, and how do you feel about it?
I think you likely asked me to, on missions, make it not like my top priority, but a priority to keep your younger brother safe. If I see that they're in danger, I likely am being paid by you to ensure that whatever is coming after them, I stab it first.
Cool. How do you feel about it?
I'm probably annoyed that my attention has to be divided between jobs, but money's money.
Okay, guys. So a couple questions from me that everyone can jump in on, and I highly recommend that you guys talk with each other because this is going to lay kind of the groundwork for the one shot that we have tonight. You've obviously been adventuring together for a little while. I'm going to say probably at least a year or so you guys have adventured on and off together, so you are aware of one another, comfortable with one another. This isn't something that like it's your first interactions, just for sake of ease for the adventure work going on. How do you think maybe some of you would have come together? Maybe what are some things you think would have caused you to interact with one another and all that fun stuff? And no wrong answers here. This is you guys just again laying the groundwork, talk with one another, see what you think maybe fits for the characters best. It's why I call it team building. It's just us building it up all together.
So I think that Bram would have sought out Helena after his family died, just because of the vision that he had. So that's at least one reason why they've kind of come into each other's orbit that I can think of.
And I put in my background, someone I helped is the matron of a tavern called the Horned Ox that seems to have some rowdy folk and some attention from the syndicate where we are. And I think maybe getting Riven involved in helping her keep them out might be having put him on the payroll initially.
I think that is pretty good because I'm probably hanging around the witch, trying to use your magic for something from my life that I could need it for.
My magic? Or
The witch's magic.
okay.
There's two of
Because
them.
there's two witches.
There's two. There's
Yeah.
two.
Yes.
There's two.
There's two witches.
Then I'm just hanging around two witches because two witches are better than one. I could.
Yeah. I think
Yep.
Charmed and I talked about this privately, but I think that we had the idea that she kind of got forced to follow me here by our father. So like I don't know how I got involved just because I like to do shit I probably shouldn't be doing. And then she got forced to follow along.
So every older younger sibling relationship ever.
Yep.
Love it. Okay. And the Wailing Woods. So this is a dark, cold, all year round, very thickly forested area. Imagine every Grimm's fairy tale description, old school Disney Princess Ran Through the Woods scene. Just that like gnarled trees kind of close together. You've got like the one transient path and that's really it. Everything else again is that heavily wooded dark. You've got like the tendrils of light kind of coming down in some areas, but overall very ominous, spooky, lots of rumors flying around about this. what sort of rumors do you guys think you would have heard about the woods? Things that would make people less likely to travel through them, make people scared to go through them, or avoid them altogether?
The undead haunt the woods, and they kill people for their body parts. Okay, so since we've known each other for a year, the secret for my character, the picture I posted, is an illusion. That's her glamour. She is a reanimated, so her actual shape body is a mismatch of body parts from different races, colors, skins, people, and she tries to keep up the illusion, but she does maybe hunt for some people who shouldn't be alive and take their body parts sometimes.
They didn't need them.
She tries to keep it on the down low, but it has fostered the rumors that happens around here.
I mean, hey, it's just recycling, right?
Necromancy is
Forced
just
recycling.
Yes, yes. It's an extreme version of recycling.
Gotta save the planet somehow.
Okay. What else do you think we would have heard about these spooky ooky woods?
Thomas, you look like you are ready to say something.
I'm thinking of something along the same lines of what you were talking about, but like on the other pole. Like maybe there's some sort of like miracle cure or something in the woods, but it's too dangerous for people to go and find it. But there's something that like, some kind of something for resurrection or something that can like, I don't know. Anybody got ideas? That's
The
kind
pool
of
of
my pitch.
everlasting life.
Yeah, kind of like the Fountain of Youth, but like, or like a Lazarus pit, maybe even like think DC Comics.
And it's got
I almost was
something.
going to go with Miracle Max.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be something, some kind of like curse surrounding it to keep people out. So everyone like keeps going towards it, but it could be part of like the undead thing where it's like they're trying to get to it, they fall to it, and then become a protector, keep more people out of it. So it kind of just keeps building on top of each other as more people try and go. The, I guess, like army surrounding and protecting it grows as well, and no one's been able to get through.
I like that. Okay. And one more dark, spooky, ooky thing, rumor or true, that maybe people would have heard about these woods. That once again, if the stealing body parts, the undead army, and the cursed fountain of whatever didn't keep you out, maybe one more thing that would keep everybody away.
Kind of gone over all the spookiest things.
So come up with a wacky one.
That's true. Come up with a funny one. There are no wrong answers in my game. I will use any and everything you give me.
Is it possible?
Do you
Is
have
it?
one for you?
Did you have one?
I'm thinking. I can't.
I was just
Go ahead.
Maybe as part of like the spookiest things is, I'm going to use mechanical terms here because I don't know what other terms I would use. Maybe a level 10 party got lost in the woods and there's particularly strong undead because of who they were in their past lives.
I want to throw in that the woods have the voices of children that just whisper behind your back whenever you're not looking.
All the
that
other
would
stuff
be the
was fine,
creepiest
though, right?
aspect of it.
Yeah, that one.
That is creepy. I
know
have
that-
two, and I hear them, and I get frightened.
Just imagining the Shining. It's like, come play with us forever and ever and ever.
Red rum, red rum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite movies back in college.
That sounds delicious.
Okay, guys. Well, I think we have set the scene pretty well. We've got our group pretty built. So, you guys have all been hired by this nobleman. His name is Sir Brandyfeather. He is about what you would expect from a nobleman, just very full of himself, very pompous, not the greatest of companions, very demanding, but also very useless in protecting himself. So he has to hire other people to do it. He's an older human gentleman, graying hair, slicked back, robes and leathers, very, very high class, big money. He carries around a leather tome with him everywhere he goes. He usually has it strapped to his belt. And currently, he has a carriage and a very large crate that he is supposed to be taking to a wedding. He got a late start. His other group that was supposed to take him got caught up on their last mission, got hurt. He had to kind of scramble. Took a little bit of time. So now instead of getting to take the safer path, you guys are forced to go through the Wailing Woods and get him to this wedding on time. And is the biggest part of this mission is that he must get through the woods in sort of a 2-day journey period and get to the other side for this wedding and deliver this package that he has to get there. He keeps emphasizing that to you guys. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn the floor over to you guys and jump in as necessary. And we're going to start with whoever wants to and just kind of go around. I want you guys to let me know, as you guys start on this, where would you be in the carriage, around the carriage, driving the carriage, whatever you want. And what's kind of going through your head as you guys are starting in on this journey, especially given all of those spooky rumors and things we just talked about.
I think. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Nope. I was going to say, Helena would absolutely choose to be in the carriage with him. One of her experiences is charming socialite, so she's going to try and keep him occupied and get as much information out of him as possible. I'm sure he likes to talk about himself, so maybe he'll let some information slip that could be useful.
I think that Vapor, in a over-the-top show of bravery about proving that he isn't scared about the woods, is like running ahead of the carriage, checking things out, and then running back and reporting, and then just like keeps doing that. Like, not just staying ahead to like keep an eye out, but like runs forward, then runs back, and then just keeps doing that.
And Brahm, who is ever the father figure and driving the carriage, is always every time that Vapor does that. Now, don't go too far. Make sure that I can see you. I don't trust these woods.
Yes, Dad.
I think you would have, when we entered the woods, we would have traveled for about 3, like maybe half hour, before you noticed Riven was just gone.
Okay.
That's great. With Vapor running back and forth, you kind of see whenever he runs off, and he doesn't stay within eye shot because that's just him.
Yeah.
You see Onyx kind of run like halfway to keep him in eye shot and the cart in eye shot, and as Onyx sees him running back, she runs back and pretends she wasn't doing that, so he thinks he's like by himself. And she's just getting slightly annoyed by it. He keeps trying to be like, okay, you don't have to go every 5 minutes. It's not going to change that quickly.
I'm in the carriage. He's not my brother, and he's kind of annoying me.
No, okay.
Speaking of the carriage, Helena, what are you trying to kind of ascertain from our nobleman? Is there something specific you're trying to get out of him? Are you just kind of probing right now? What vibe of questioning are we going for?
Well, everyone wants to know what's in the box, what's in the crate, of course. And who the wedding is for. The bride and groom, how they're connected. Just general social questions. But if he happens to let anything else slip, great. If she can steer the conversation towards, you've seen the Brad Pitt meme. What's in the box? Yeah, that's her vibe. Eventually.
So if you just want to kind of keep it surface level, we can try and you just kind of talk it out with them. If you want to actually kind of push, you could try and do a presence roll for me.
I would happily do that. I've got some advantages on that. Because of the glamour for the Moon Witch, I get advantage on presence rolls because of my enhanced appearance. So,
Okay. And this is a good time to let everybody know that for the purpose of one-shots, I do not make you guys spend hope for your experiences in one-shot. However, you do need to argue them to me. So there needs to be a reason that you think it would fit that scenario. You need to give me some logic there. For one-shots, because so many things can happen in just one, 2-3 hour setting, I'd rather you guys use your hope for your abilities so you can test different things out. But as stated, you do need to argue with me a little bit and be like, this is why I think this would fit here.
okay. Well, I'm starting with 2 hope, and I have a charming socialite as an experience, so I think that might apply since he's, a rich, pompous gentleman.
For sure.
Yeah.
Before I forget, my martial artist ability during a rest, I roll a d6 and then have that amount of focus tokens for the until the next time I rest. So am I good to roll a d6 for when we would have previously rested before it started?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So my dice hit the mat, and I'm looking at it going, oh, that's a crappy roll. 3 plus 3 plus my 4.
Yeah.
That is literally the first time in 5 games of Daggerheart I've rolled a crit, so...
We love it.
Oh,
For anyone listening that has never played Daggerheart before, and that's why you're listening, is to learn, low numbers in Daggerheart do not necessarily mean bad things. In Daggerheart, you have 2 d12s that you roll, and one of them is your hope dice, and one is your fear dice. If you roll higher with fear, bad things could happen even if you succeed, or if you roll higher with hope, good things could happen even if you fail. However, crit successes in this game are 2 of the same numbers, so technically you could roll 2 1s and still get a critical success, which is why those duality dice are so cool in this game. So, what exactly... Yes, those are gorgeous. I love them. What exactly, and I'll give you one question, not like the rigmarole of all of them, but with your crit, what one question do you want him to honestly answer for you?
What's in the large crate?
And he'll sort of puff out his chest and mess with his collar, and he's been fidgety as soon as you guys kind of started on this trek. Like, this is not how I normally travel. Just grumbling to himself. And when you ask him that, you've managed to kind of catch him between a couple different questions that you've been probing and asking this entire time. And he just kind of throws his hands up. He's like, I have no idea. I was paid to come to give it to them for the stupid nobles that are getting married. They're not even on my side of the continent. I'm only doing this because it was a favor to a friend and they offered to pay for all the expenses. So it wasn't coming out of my coffers.
I am shocked that he would be a simple courier in this case. That seems below your station.
Well, I agree. But unfortunately, it was for a dear friend, and I do owe them. They got me out of some trouble a while back. Something that happened with my useless daughter before I married her off, finally. But I digress. Unfortunately, no, I don't know what is in the large crate. I just know that it is of the utmost importance that I get it through these damned woods to this wedding before the wedding happens.
It's the groom. He's a vampire.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't sound suspicious or anything.
No. Why would that be suspicious? He will tell you without any rolls, just because it's easy knowledge. The two that are getting married, the wedding that is being gone to, they are we're gonna say a Furbolg couple, two sort of lesser noble families, part of maybe the farming side of this land specifically. And it's just sort of like the two biggest farm families. It would normally not garner like a true noble attention, but the fact that like he's kind of been contracted to bring this there, it's just like very under mysterious circumstances, that would definitely peak at Helena a little bit.
Now she's got to do her writing in the carriage with this knowledge until we find a place to stop and she can share it. She
Speaking
would start chewing on her fingers, but she might actually bite through them.
Speaking of, my driver, my other witch, my Furbolg witch up there. I'm gonna say you guys been going for probably about an hour. What sort of things are you kind of keeping an eye out for, or maybe anything you would have noticed sort of in starting this drive?
So I think that first and foremost, like I think Brahm is keeping an eye out for danger. Like first and foremost, with the loss of his family, they were lost in a raid on their village, and so he is very focused on like ambushes and stuff like that. But while he's sitting in the carriage, and he sees Onyx doing this thing of running back and forth to try to feign keep an eye on Vapor, but not let Vapor know that she's keeping an eye on Vapor. He's gonna look to Onyx and say, "Save your energy. We might need your help if we're attacked." And I'm gonna spend a hope to summon my familiar. It's a mastiff named Dealey, and I'm gonna say, "Dealey, fetch that boy." And Dealey is gonna run off after Vapor and just stay at Vapor's side.
Okay.
And
I
then
think as soon as he comes up
Right.
to Vapor would just like kind of stop in his tracks and just like, go down and like, pet him and like kind of, maybe gently, playfully roughhouse with him if we've have me and him interacted before.
Oh yeah, this is the form that Dealey takes frequently, is a mastiff. So, and then as Dealey takes off, a rat is gonna come crawling up on my shoulder. That's my harmless animal pet that I got from my class. His name is Scribbles. And I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out a snack for Scribbles and hand it to Scribbles, and then I'm gonna reach into another pocket and pull out like it almost looks like a poultice, like just like mashed up leaves and dirt, and I'm gonna rub it in my fingers, and I'm going to attempt to use my witch class feature commune.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call out into the ether, "Roxana, what lies ahead?" And that's Roxana is my wife's name.
Okay. So I believe for that you need to do a spellcast roll for me. Yes.
So once per long rest during a moment of calm, you can commune with an ancestor deity, nature spirit, or otherworldly being. Ask them a question, then roll a number of d6s equal to your spellcast trait. My spellcast trait is knowledge, and I have a 3. So I'm going to roll 3d6s, and then it says choose one value from the rolled results to reference the chart below for the effect.
Okay.
Right. So I got 2 2s and a 3. So it says so that the option for 1 through 3 is you taste a flavor, smell a scent, or feel a sensation relevant to the answer. So the question was, Roxana, what lies ahead?
Okay. Okay. I'm going to say in this instance, you're going to feel a sensation. You're going to feel just an icy cold, and it's going to start like at your fingertips where you're holding the reins, and then it's going to move up your arms and kind of settle in your chest for a really long moment. And then you're just going to give one of those like really big body shivers, like someone just walked over your grave.
I don't like that.
And I think now would be a really good time for Riven to appear next to them at the front of the carriage. Legs
shit!
crossed, arms crossed, just like, this place is boring.
Could you please announce yourself before you show up?
Sorry.
I feel like this is a normal occurrence, and it always goes about this way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Riven, while you were kind of, I'm assuming you were like scoping and kind of looking. Were you looking for anything specific or searching for anything, or were you just kind of like you said, bored?
I was mainly like, Riven was mainly like jumping from tree to tree. She has a grappler, which is a close range like chain weapon that she was using to kind of swing from treetop to treetop. Doing her best to stay next to Onyx, or sorry, Vapor, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Vapor.
Yeah.
Occasionally, like shooting or like stabbing at like smaller like prey creatures that may try to attack him. But when realizing there was nothing threatening, she just decided, I'm coming right back. This is not what I was hoping for.
Gotcha. And Riven, as a fungrel, I know it's a little different because you guys have the what is it called? The connection thing.
Mycelial network.
The mycelial network,
Yes.
or the fungal network. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like
I
the
might have been quoting
Facebook,
Star
but for
Trek.
fungus.
Yeah.
And you may not necessarily in this area, but what do you feel like maybe some of that network would be giving off in this woods? Something that maybe they picked up on, or something that they would have like tuned into, especially now that you guys are getting into the woods. You've been going for like an hour or two.
That's a really good question. She's probably just getting the vibe of, yeah, this is a spooky forest.
That's fair.
There's definitely the sense that there's some sort of threat, but nothing that she can see immediately.
That's fair. Okay. And then jumping over to Onyx. So Vapor's kind of covered now, more ways than one. So it's kind of nice, like you're not the only kind of older sibling looking after him anymore. And that sort of like moment of peace. What's going through Onyx's mind? What are they worried about? What are they thinking about? What's maybe like just kind of there in the forefront now that they are not just focusing on their sibling?
I think Onyx, now that they're not focusing fully on Vapor, is switching her attention to think about their father that they left behind in their hometown. Since he is kind of elderly, who's taking care of him? Is he going to be okay by himself?
Mm-hmm.
Like those kinds of thoughts. Trying to hope that like the community like helps support him because he's by himself.
Would you say that Onyx still feels a little guilty about leaving that all behind, especially because you guys have been kind of adventuring for a year or so and kind of left that?
Yeah, it wouldn't. I feel like I don't think it would be so much guilt, and so it'd be like along those thoughts of like worry. There'd still be like I think a little bit of like resentment, not even towards Vapor, but towards her father, for making, or like commanding her to basically follow after Vapor and leave him alone.
Gotcha.
So there's that like worry, but like the more she thinks about it, the more it also becomes slight resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, why am I worrying about this? He's the one that sent me here to do this, but but I still want to worry about him, you know?
And every oldest child in the room went, ow. Okay. So I'm going to say at this point, we've kind of been going for about 2 hours. You guys are starting to get into the thick of these woods. You start to hear everything go really quiet, except for very, very far off bird calls. It's very dark here, where even before there were at least like areas that the trees kind of let lights tendril in. Now it's like very dark. You kind of have like lit a lantern on the carriage itself, so you have a lot more ambient light. And as we're kind of getting deeper in, everyone go ahead and give me a instinct check.
I do want to say, now that it's actually getting spookier, I think Vapor's bravado would have probably died down, and he is actually just staying closer to the carriage now.
Absolutely.
A reaction roll or an action roll?
A normal action roll, not a reaction.
Okay.
So
So 20 with fear.
Okay. I'll take that.
I rolled a 19 with fear.
I rolled a crit.
Okay.
I got a 12 with fear.
Okay.
18 with hope.
Amazing. Everyone's really
At least
scared
one of us.
except for Onyx. And our crit over there. Okay.
It's fine, I got it.
Okay. So it was 12, 18, 20. Joe, remind me your number.
20.
20.
I think Ori had a 19.
19.
At
Pardon
a
me.
19, yeah.
Sorry. And then my crit. I'll come to the crit in a second. Okay. So I'm going to say my under 20s, you guys notice the exact moment that even the bird calls kind of stop. Like that really eerie, you get to the part of the woods that you probably shouldn't be in, and everything just goes like dead silent. And all you hear is that sort of like turning of the wagon wheels, your party members, the crunch of the leaves, but only directly around you. Everywhere else has just gained that very heavy silence. And I will say my 18 and my 19, you guys also notice it's getting a little chilly. Like, it's always cold in the woods. You guys know that. It's because, the coverage, the darkness. But there's this sort of just like icy feeling starting to kind of come up, almost like a fog would, but it's like a temperature. At my 20.
I feel like
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say in that case, like with Onyx, like she kind of has just like magma kind of flowing through her crack of like her rocky kind of exterior. She can feel it kind of getting like sluggish a little as the magma is cooling slightly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it would be a very physical reaction with Onyx, especially because, like you said, with the lava flows and things, like you would feel yourself sort of almost like with reptiles when they get around cold, like you kind of feel your body slow down a little bit. It's very much like a physical reaction.
Yeah, and that would put her on alert.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like more than anything she sees or doesn't hear.
Okay. At my 20, Helena notices all the things that I just explained, but she also notices she's been in these woods before. She's pretty adept in these woods. It doesn't make you nervous the same way it makes everyone else nervous. But you do still know there are things in this woods to avoid. And you know that there are things that you can stumble upon at the wrong time that would be worrisome. And this definitely gives that feeling. Like you can't quite put your finger 100% on it. But you feel as if maybe you're on a portion of the path where you should be prepared, like something might be coming.
As soon as she gets that feeling, she'll say to Sir Brandyfeather, "Oh, excuse me one second. I just got to get a message out to Bram driving the carriage," and she will. Well, I guess while it's still moving, she will yell out to Bram. Could you slow down for a second, Bram? It's something I wanted to mention to you.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
As soon as if he brings the carriage to a stop or slow enough, she will open the door and clamber out to the top to have a chat with him. I know these woods, and you know me. I don't frighten easily. We're on a portion of the path that we need to be prepared. Bad feelings. We probably just need to be cautious. I don't see.
Yeah,
I don't see vapor around here. And oh my God, where's Riven? Check the
I'm right
trees.
here. Like right next to.
Yeah,
If you were a zombie, you would have bit me.
truth be told, I spoke with my wife. You know, my dead wife. The one you warned me about.
Still sorry. I
It's
wish I had
not-
known you
it's
then.
That's right.
Not your fault. It's not your fault. I spoke with her, or I tried to, and the only sensation I got was a chill that ran down my spine.
It is slightly chillier here.
Not that kind of chill.
Not that kind. Okay.
The kind that chills you to the bone. The kind that makes you feel like death is on the horizon.
And I'm going to say at that moment, Bram, as you're kind of at the top of the carriage speaking with, I'm going to say probably the one you trust the most because of the history you guys have, you once again feel that just bone chilling feeling kind of take over a little bit. And you glance around and you manage to see just out of the corner of your eye, further up the path, and right out of where you could like actually pay attention to it, 3 figures. You see one is floating in the branches themselves, and 2 are standing directly below, and they all have twisting horns coming off their head, and they look gaunt, and their eyes glow sort of ethereally. And you manage to catch that sort of like out of the corner of your eye, but in the amount of time that you manage to go back, they're gone.
Did you see that?
I was looking at you.
Did either of you see that?
No?
No?
I know you. I know you're not easily flappable, so.
There's 3 figures, all with gnarled horns and gaunt bodies. They were in the corner of my eye, and in the time it took me to turn my head to see them fully, they were gone.
Ooh.
With that,
Wasn't just Riven.
I'm going to mark a stress. And in that same kind of way, you see me out of the corner of your eye, and then you turn and I'm gone. And I'm going to go scouting again.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll come to that in just a second. What does everybody else do at this sort of description? Because I'm assuming Brandyfeather doesn't care. He's complaining that you stopped and that you're going to run out of time. But the rest of you are kind of close enough that you would have at least picked up, especially that Bram is upset. Your sort of like group father figure is upset about something. So what is everyone else's reaction to this?
I think Onyx, hearing that, immediately clocks where Vapor is, and keeping an eye on them, kind of, if depending on which side Bram saw the shadows, goes and stands on like that side of the cart and tries to like really focus more, trying to figure stuff out. I didn't realize, I forgot. I have an underborn, so I could have used advantage on the roll. But
Okay. No worries.
but basically, like, use it again or whatever to just keep searching for that and seeing if they pop back up, to just keep an eye out for those
Sure.
kinds of creatures he described.
And when describing it, it's so you guys are still going down this trail, and keep in mind again, it's just so heavily wooded here. There's really only one path in and out, and so where he spotted this would have been right ahead of you guys, where the path curves into the next direction, and that's why he was kind of doing like a scan towards where you're going. Caught it as he was like coming back, but then by the time he went to go look at it, they were gone.
Okay, then yeah, Onyx will actually go slightly ahead of them, like by like I don't know, 10, 15 feet, and just be on guard there, and again, just scanning.
Okay.
I think Vapor, having, like, it's getting real, he will have, like, immediately looked for where Onyx is and, like, saw her doing this, and then kind of, like, sidled closer to her just to be near her, because he knows that she'll protect him if something does go wrong.
Yeah.
But given that she's now, like, slightly ahead of the carriage, I think, Vapor will just make sure that he's kind of somewhere in between Onyx and Bram, somewhere in that vicinity of just like, yeah, this is spooky. Like, yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, not my favorite thing today.
Yeah.
Graham, I think we get the carriage moving again. Get the door closed. Keep Perry Feather, Brandy Feather, locked inside, and just keep moving until we're forced not to.
Maybe at a faster clip. Try to make up time and get through these woods.
Me and Onyx can keep up with you if you do go faster.
Yeah. And Dealey stays with the siblings. Dealey is like your companion. So like he summons Dealey specifically to be in melee range with you guys. Yeah, so
And I'm going to
Bram
ride
is
up
Bram
top with you now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get the carriage started, and I'm gonna spend a stress to cast Conjure Swarm.
Okay.
And it's gonna be the armored beetles. So basically, it's like beetles come crawling out of my clothes and over my skin, and form into like basically a suit of armor, and then there's like a flash of light, and the armor has the shape of the beetle wings, like the different beetle wings, but it's not like individual beetles anymore. And because I have Unshakable from my Furbolg ancestry, I get to roll a d6. And if I roll a 6, I don't have to mark that stress. That's a 1. I have to mark the stress.
I did notice that the witch character seemed to be a very big user of stress.
Yeah.
I think a lot of classes seem to, like...
The spellcasters are very stress focused.
Yeah.
Brawlers too.
Yeah, brawlers are too, yeah.
I think the void ones are heavy stress.
Yeah.
I think it's because the other ones weren't like really like I think sorcerers kind of were because same like spellcast aspect, but that was really about it. I think they changed a couple of the things with the stress stuff too. just some of the new effects and whatnot, which probably makes sense to focus on that. Okay, so you guys sort of gird your loins, get ready, and you continue down, moving at a little bit faster of a clip. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to say for the next hour, I'm going to give one of you a chance, sort of each of you one chance is what I'm trying to say, to notice something. So it's going to be that instinct, and it's just going to be one at a time, and I'll tell you when. I'm gonna start with Riven, specifically because I know you were going up to scout, and you're gonna have a little bit of a bonus because you went ahead and you kind of was trying to keep ahead of it.
Okay, so instinct roll?
Yes, please.
Cool. That's gonna be a 17 with fear.
Okay. So
We're feeding her well.
That's so much fear.
you have no idea. The other game I played with my home team, poor Tat, and like every roll up until I think like mid game for him was with fear, and he was like single-handedly feeding me all my fear tokens. And this nice little
I've been that player.
Poor guy.
And then he was the only one that caught on when I actually like moved a couple of them to do some things because I didn't make it like outwardly known. I was like, I'm just gonna move those over there, and he was like, God fucking damn it! I'm like, what's wrong?
Yep.
Okay, guys. I'm so sorry. Ari, remind me the number that you got.
It was a 17.
Thank you.
With fear.
So I'm gonna say, with your quick reaction, and especially given kind of the class and everything, you get right to the curve of the road, and you definitely see some shadows that are not natural shadows. It's not just like, you know, the woods, the normal. Like there definitely was something, but you really only kind of catch the tail end of it. It didn't kind of go in one direction or another. It almost just kind of dissipated. But it's definitely where you guys were heading.
So I don't currently see it. I saw something like go into hiding, essentially.
Yes.
I think I'm just gonna pursue.
Okay. And are you waiting on your travel companions, or are you just kind of like zeroed in?
I wouldn't say I'm zeroed in, but like I'm trying to get an eye on it again, knowing that I saw the direction it moved in.
Okay.
I think though, because I know how these things kind of work and how this spooky stuff can be kind of like a trick of the eye, I'm also like looking the opposite direction every so often.
Okay. Okay. So you guys keep going. You trek on a little bit faster, a little more aware. We're going to do Onyx. I'm going to give you first attempt. So you guys have been going for probably about 15 minutes or so from the first area that your travel companion saw something weird. Go ahead and give me an instinct check.
Okay. Can I now use my underborn community low light living when I'm in an area with low light or heavy shadow? I have advantage on rolls to investigate.
Yes, absolutely. And once again, for anyone listening who doesn't know, in Daggerheart, you roll that d6 for an advantage. You get to add that to whatever you roll. And that's how the mechanics for that one works.
Yeah. All right. That's 20 with fear.
Darn.
So much fear.
It seems to be the tone.
Well, we are in a spooky woods, so like,
Spooky.
It is appropriate for the setting.
Okay.
for sure.
So, as you guys are going, you, especially kind of given that, like, this, like, group father figure that usually is pretty level headed, helps you take care of Vapor, is, like, usually a good ally as, like, protection goes. He's been rattled by something. And so that's rattled you just a little bit. And you're kind of doing the thing when someone's like hyper vigilant, where like their eyes are darting everywhere at once. And one of those times where you're going from one side of the path to the other, you catch sight of a figure very similarly to what Bram described. And it's further back in the woods. By the time you really notice it, you guys have already passed it. But it definitely fit the description, and there was only one of them.
Okay. Then I think Onyx clocking that would immediately kind of look back and say, "There's one more in the woods. We passed it as I went by. Be on guard. Something's here." And then, like as we're like still running next to Vapor, I like just as I'm still looking out for more, I'm now more looking at Vapor to make sure he doesn't go off or something attacks him first.
Just more
Sounds
directly
like
on your
they're
brother.
surrounding us.
Yeah, because like now, like I didn't not believe Bram when he saw it, but now I saw it, so I know kind of what's out there. So I'm like, I'm on guard, but it's also gonna be more making sure Vapor doesn't try and bravely run off.
Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, that.
You can say it, but
I would
it's so
never.
hard not to.
Yeah.
Would never.
Yeah.
Okay. Any reactions to her saying that anyone would like to do before we do our next check?
I don't think she said
whatever.
anything that's changed what we already know.
Yeah, just Vapor would speak up that it sounds like whatever it is might be surrounding us at that point, since we passed some of them. But so I guess maybe Vapor will start kind of looking behind us too, since it seems like a lot of us are putting our attention forward.
Okay. So you guys continue on. Another 10 or 15 minutes goes by. This time I'm going to say, Helena, you get a chance to pay attention.
All right. Um, 18 with hope.
Take your hope.
That's an unusual one for me, but I'll take it.
Okay. You don't specifically see a figure like everyone else did. You definitely feel something, though, and especially given your familiarity with these woods and, again, the things you know, you very much agree with what is kind of being noticed. It seems like there's like a soft surrounding happening. You do know that the pathway that you guys are taking, since there's really only one direct path in and out of the woods, is getting to a point where it gets sort of twisty and you're not going to be able to see as many directly ahead of you sections as you have with the first and the end trek of the woods. So you do know that this would be a very apt spot for that to happen. And you just kind of are a little more on guard with that.
I communicate that whole twisty ambush part to Bram, who's driving, just to make sure that he's aware of that.
Keep an eye out.
As we have been the whole time.
Okay. You guys keep going deeper and deeper into the spooky Wailing Woods. And it's funny, they call it the Wailing Woods because when the wind hits these trees at just the right angle, it sounds like someone is crying, wailing, just that ooh that sinks deep into your bones. And as you guys are making your way deeper into that woods, you do start to hear those very slight whines and wails from a light breeze picking up through the branches. And I'm going to say, Vapor, you can now, about 10 minutes after that one, take your roll.
All right. That is a 19 with fear.
Okay. Man, it's been a while since I had
It's a
this
lot of
much in the
fear.
beginning,
That's a lot
guys.
of fear.
So
Yeah,
much. Oh my
it's a lot
god.
of fear.
I'm going to have to start doing shit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. No. Don't spend it. No need.
Okay. You've been you can tell your sister's like hyper vigilant, especially because she saw something now, and like, she's keeping a much heavier eye on you, but she's still doing the thing you've seen her do millions of times before, where she's like scanning and looking and trying to take every single thing in around her all at once. And you're paying attention to her more so than anything because, with your older sibling, you tend to take the lead from her. You tend to try and like follow behind what she says. It doesn't always work out that way, but you do try. And you see her eyes flick over to the edge of the road where you're about to take a curve, and you kind of just like look, and this time you definitely see a figure, and it is very scary to you. It is a dark, imposing figure, again hovering in the branches. It's got a gaunt, almost skull-like face with those gnarled, twisting horns coming off of it. It seems to be made almost entirely out of shadow, but it looks almost like robes that have been just like tattered and torn and dragged through the mud. And it is just peak grabbed out of any nightmare that you could think. And you still only see it for a split like second or two, but you do see it hovering in the tree limbs right where the carriage is headed.
There's another one right ahead of us, guys. They're not going away. I don't know why they're not doing anything yet. But I mean, maybe it's for the best they're not doing something, but definitely feels like they're going to.
Who knows? Okay. Now, do you guys pause, or do you just kind of keep going?
I think Onyx, if Vapor says it's like as we're like in front of us, Onyx will definitely slightly push Vapor like like before we like running side by side. I'm now pushing him like like 5 or so feet back. He can still run. I'm just pushing him more in between me and the carriage with the others.
Yeah. Okay.
Vapor will let her push him back.
That wasn't an option for Vapor to not
Yeah.
be pushed back.
It's so cute that you thought you had a choice, but sure. Okay. And then finally,
I think-
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's at this point that Riven reappears on top of the carriage.
Jump scare.
Jesus. Ugh.
Who's that?
Valor above.
Riven, why?
Joe, if you're listening, I promise we're a Splendor only household.
Not me.
Okay. So, as you guys kind of take this final trek, and kind of as stated, it's about a 2-day journey. You guys have been going for most of the afternoon at this point. It would be getting to a point where you would normally get to sort of the safe spot in the woods that you can rest for a little bit. And that's kind of what you're coming up on. And as you're kind of coming up on that last turn in the bend that you've kind of been warned about, My driver, Bram, please, your turn to notice things.
Okay, so before we get to my role, since I've seen that Vapor is getting like upset now about what he's seeing, I'm gonna look to him and I'm gonna say, Vapor, take Dealey's tag. It will protect you. And I'm going to
You cut out there, Thomas.
Yep.
Oop, sorry. My push to talk went away. I'm going to use my hedge witch feature, tethered talisman. The tag on Dealey's collar is going to glow, and so whenever you take damage next, or whenever you take damage, I can expend the magic to have you mark one less hit point.
Okay. Vapor will take the tag and say, thank you, Dealey. And then just kind of like, I don't know, kind of just hold it in his hand for comfort.
And then I would like to use my experience protect the herd.
Nice.
That makes sense. You are protecting your people.
That is 10, 12, 13 with hope.
Okay. So you guys have been sort of, for the past hour and a half or so, you've been sort of conditioned to be paying attention to what's happening around you, to be paying attention ahead of you. And you pull up to this, what everybody kind of calls the woods checkpoint. There's like this very sturdy but old like wooden pavilion that has been put in this clearing. It's sort of like the midway point in these woods where you could set up some tents, build a fire if you want. It's sort of also like neutral ground, like nothing bad really happens here. And as you come around, there's nothing in front of you. You don't hear anything. Actually, it kind of almost sounds more normal again. Like you do kind of hear a couple bird calls, you hear some things. But I'm going to say with the hope, in the very last second, as you guys are sort of parking, and I'm assuming kind of doing like rounds, just making sure that everything's like good, you situate yourself near the cart itself, and you hear the slightest of rustle at the back of the cart.
Well, you know I got to go and find out what that was.
Okay. And as you come around the corner of the cart, you
say anything to anyone?
that's important too.
Okay. He went to go find out. That's cool. All right.
Hey, I'm all for let's split up, gang. I want to go see. I love those. So
Every rule of horror movie's broken.
Yeah. So you come around the corner of the cart, and as you come around the corner, you see, from your angle, it looks like one of the figures. You see like the shadowy cloak, you see sort of the horns coming up. You're getting sort of like a weird, slightly behind, slightly sideways kind of profile of it because you're coming around. But you do see, and you see that they have like these long, inky claws, and they're pulling back the curtain of the carriage. And it's just as this claw reaches in and just barely manages like to scrape the crate itself that you come fully around the corner.
I am going to cast Vicious Entangle on it.
Okay.
And I would like to use my experience not tying expert, because I'm going to be tying it up with vines.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do a spellcast roll against it. Oof.
Did you even wait to see it?
Huh? No, I saw. She said I saw it, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He did. He saw, you came around the corner, you saw the figure, And you come fully around the corner just as its claws sort of like scrape against the crate.
Gotcha.
All right, yeah. So that is 7. That is 7, 10, 12. 12 with hope. I'm sorry, 12 with fear.
Okay. And you were trying to vicious entanglement it, correct?
Right. But what I will do is I will use my fearless from my Infernus ancestry to mark 2 stress to make that a roll with hope instead.
Okay.
And then I will roll my d6 to see if I mark stress. I do mark stress.
Okay. So you said it was a 12 or a 13?
It was 13, 13 with hope.
Okay. So a 13 does meet, which in Dagger Heart, usually it's meet does not beat. So I'm going to say that you cast this, it goes, and it's almost like, and you've really only seen this a couple times, sometimes dealing with Helena and like spellcasters and such, where like it kind of goes through the figure. And then just as it would sort of enrapture them, it's almost like the figure became aware of it and jumps back. And its claws like take a piece of the curtain with it. And it sort of like fully faces you. And you see this again, just like gaunt, almost like deer skull face, those twisty horns, this like shadowy body. And then it just melts into the shadows.
All right, everybody, arms up.
April immediately
I
just
just-
like turn around, like fists up, looking for whatever Bram's talking about.
I just caught one trying to get into the carriage. It was touching the box. And
The box.
Bram is going to go and he's going to grab Brandywine out of the carriage.
Okay.
Like grab him by his collar and push him up against the carriage. What do you have us transporting?
As you yank him out, he is unconscious.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was going to say, is this really the right time for it? But apparently it was time a while ago.
Bram's just gonna drop him to the ground, like as soon as he realizes that he's unconscious. I know I'm not that strong. I didn't just knock him out.
Is he okay?
He's breathing. He's just unconscious.
I seeing
You said there's
that
something at the back of the cart. Let's make sure nothing else is there.
It's gone
seeing
now.
that our patron is unconscious, I'm going to go into the cart, and I'm gonna try to lockpick this this box.
Okay.
Is it a magical box?
So what I was going to say is for freezies, I will tell you that there is a actual very large like cast iron padlock on it.
Yeah.
But traveling with magical users, having a little bit of knowledge, it definitely has some sort of warding on it as well. You don't know exactly what kind, but from actually like paying attention and looking, there's something on it.
Just on the lock, though?
It's specifically on the lock, and that's what you get just for freezies, because I am a
So I
beginner.
wouldn't have advantage with pick and pull.
No, not in this case.
Okay. Okay. Does that change how I want to do this then?
Maybe.
I think it does. I think my 2 witches would have seen me do this before, but I think the siblings would not. I'm gonna mark a stress again, and I'm gonna like fade into this like translucent form. And you're gonna just see me stick my head into the box.
Okay.
Spooky ghost.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I do have the ghost transformation card.
Yeah. Because you have the ghost transformation card, I'm not going to attack you with any magical damage, but I am going to need you to give me an agility check. It's going to be a quick reaction one, so I don't need hope or fear.
I mean, you can hit me with magic. I get double damage against magic. Punish me.
No, you're in ghost form. It wouldn't actually hit you. It's okay, but
that's a you said, what was it?
it's a reaction, so I don't need hope or fear. I just need to know what you got.
What is it? Agility?
Yes, please.
Agility. Okay, that is a 8.
Okay. So you stick your head in this box, and you are enveloped with darkness. Just the kind of darkness that can only be accomplished by magic. You've seen like witches do it. You've seen other spells do it. And so that's what you get. And then the moment that you actually kind of like get your bearings and are trying to see if there's anything else, you feel like someone just kicks you in the chest and you get pushed all the way out the back. You roll, you tumble, you kind of land on your ass right between Bram and Helena. You don't take any damage or anything because you were in ghost form, but you do kind of have the wind knocked out of you a little bit. You're just like,
So you said that Onyx and I haven't seen you do this before?
I think you would have seen me go into ghost form. No, I have not gone ghost in front of you.
going ghost.
Do you still look the same?
Yeah,
Just like
I
transparent?
just translucent.
Okay.
And suddenly my disappearing and reappearing makes more sense.
I think Vapor would just be like, Riven's one of them! We've got an inside agent! Or double agent!
No.
Riven's on our team. He always has been. He has your back. Well,
She's
he
a
is
ghost.
on his backside now, but
She's a ghost. She just kind of stands up and I'd say she dusts herself off, but like falling out of it, I think she just falls into the ground. And then she's coming back up like, oh, no, I'm on your side. It's just a little less corporeal.
What did you see?
Nothing.
Well, that's not
oh,
helpful.
that was a wasted trip. Get back in there.
No, I don't think I will.
Plan. Follow through.
I think I will...
You didn't get hurt, did you?
No, but it felt like if I did it again, I may get hurt. She just kind of looks around.
Okay.
Well, this is a bit more interesting than I thought it would be.
Onyx, where are you in correlation to all of this? Like, have you kind of faded to the edges of the group, kind of keeping an eye, or where do you feel like you'd be placed?
I feel like if they would have gone, if Helena and Riven would have gone to the cart and like Vapor's attention was on there, I still wouldn't have like fully stopped watching since everyone's attention is there. I would still be trying, I think, to get around the cart on like maybe like the other way to see if this thing is coming back. But when Riven comes out in the ghost form, she also starts moving slightly towards Vapor because that freaked her out a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still trying to be on watch and watching that unfold slightly.
Okay. I'll give you a choice. You can give me an agility or you can give me an instinct, whichever you feel would be best. It is specifically to notice and react to something. So whatever you feel, if you have anything to go with it, that's what I'm going to give you.
Yeah, I think I'll do agility. But since we're still like in low light or heavy shadow, they still get advantage.
Yes, absolutely. You pretty much get advantage until y'all get out of the woods because
That was quite shitty. So that. No. That's a 10 with hope.
Okay. Not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So, as you're kind of, again, I'm going to take some liberty here. I'm going to say you've kind of like faded a little bit to the back of like where your group is and you're trying to pay attention. So, you see that same figure from before, but it's sort of like skirted around the edge of the woods that you're like directly looking at and then fades away. And then as everyone's kind of turning and talking, and now they're talking to Riven, and apparently Riven's a ghost and all these other things, you see its head come up through the ground, and those like ghostly claws sort of like come up and touch Brandy Feather, who is like splayed out on the ground. And just for the moment, they've sort of turned away from where he fell unconscious.
Seeing that, I'm going to start sprinting and be like, guard the client. And kind of try and like slightly do like a baseball slide to try and like kick or try and get like some kind of contact with this mostly incorporeal form at the moment, but at least to like get between Brandy Fellow on the ground and this hand reaching towards them.
Okay. Give me an agility. And it's just a reaction one. You're basically just seeing if you can kind of slide in between it enough to startle it away.
Okay. Let's see if I can haggle you here. Can I use my experience volcanic explosion to kind of like use it as like pushing off and like jolting forward really quickly as just like a real exertion of energy to like sprint as fast as I can?
Yeah, I could see that, especially because you're kind of trying to do this in like one big spurt of energy, like one power move. I could see that.
Better. That's 16 with hope.
So you do manage to, just as you described, you sort of like baseball slide between.
Wait, sorry, hang on. 17 with hope.
You manage, I
Sorry.
needed a 15, so you're good. So
Yeah.
you baseball slide in between, and you sort of like, I'm going to say instinctually, you sort of like flare your lava a little bit. And that like spark of like light in all of this darkness startles the figure, and it just like dissipates again, like melts into the ground, very similarly to what you just saw happen with Riven. But you have managed to keep it away from your client.
Okay, and I'm going to immediately pick up the client off the ground, kind of princess style, and just kind of easily hold him there, being like, this thing was after him. I don't think they're after the box.
Vapor's gonna run over to Onyx's side and just like kind of have his back to her, kind of keeping a watch so nothing gets up behind her without her noticing.
Okay. I'm going to say, as this is kind of all happening at once, Bram and Helena, give me one more reaction roll. So we're going to do an instinct, the reaction. I don't care about hope or fear. Any experience or anything you guys want to. I'm going to say this because you guys are like right on top of this and you're closest to the back of the carriage itself since Riven got shoved out.
That's
12 with
12.
hope. 12.
2 12s. That's
Oh, we both rolled a 12. Yeah.
That sounds
Is
like
that
a crit. We
that
both
could be a
rolled 12.
crit, right?
Yeah,
Just
it
12?
is.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That totally
Angel
counts. That totally counts, guys. Yeah, sure. There have been a lot of things that have happened all on top of one another, all at once. one thing that I'm going to give you guys as sort of like a reactionary problem solve here. There's two constants. They're going after Brandy Feather. They're going after the crate. And they're not actually interacting. Like, they're not attacking you. They're actually acting almost like fearful, but they're doing a lot of like cloak and dagger, a lot of scare tactic. So this is not like a direct, like, you guys have not been attacked. You have not been hurt. It's just those two constants.
Surely they might be afraid of what's in the crate. Brandy Feather's unconscious. Maybe he has a key.
Would you like to loot his unconscious body?
It wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last.
Okay.
Well, I'm not holding him. I'm fairly certain he's in a hold by Onyx, so
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I can turn him towards you and you can pat his pockets. I don't know how I would hold and searching at the same time.
now the question is, do the ghosts want us to unlock the box? Do they want what's in it, or are they afraid of what's in it?
Ooh, we will see, won't we?
Well, I mean, I guess based on our own ghost,
I was going to say,
It-
Riven.
it doesn't react well. So
I don't know if that's entirely because of what's in the box so much as what's protecting the box.
So maybe leaving the protections in place would be wise.
The lock itself has some pretty hefty warding.
Quite the
it.
dilemma. Maybe we just load up the carriage and just hightail it out of here. See if we can wake up Brandy Feather when we're on the farther side from safety. Throwing out ideas.
I have a
I know it
slightly
sounds good.
better plan.
All ears.
Put Brandy, whatever his name
Feather.
is, put him in the carriage. You all hide from the ghosts. We'll use him as bait.
he's our client, though.
Has he paid us yet?
He paid you half up front.
Half is better than nothing.
I will. So far we've only seen 3 of these ghosts.
Correct.
I can, as they get closer, attempt to find them. Since they seem to be made out of entirely shadow material.
Okay. You guys want to set up an ambush?
It's an
We
idea.
can try.
It's an idea, they say.
Yeah. So
Otherwise, they're just going to chase us through the forest, and
that's
we've got 2 more days worth of travel.
yeah. I mean, I definitely don't think we could get. I think if we tried just continuing to go, we'd eventually wear out. So maybe
It's worth a shot.
trying to deal with the problem. Yeah, maybe.
Deal with it head on.
So you said this is like supposed to be a waste off of safety,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
Is there any sort of like protections around the area or on the? You said it was like a wooden structure of some sort. Is there any sort of protections here, or is it just where people stop and usually bad things don't happen?
Give me. We're just gonna stick with instinct because that's perception. So give me an instinct roll.
Okay. Uh, 19 with fear.
It's okay. okay. I had to spend a couple, so I guess I can take some more. Okay. You sort of do a loop, and you guys haven't quite like gotten up onto the pavilion yet. Imagine this very much like outdoor like elementary school pavilions, where it's just like a big open wooden structure, almost like the frame with the ceiling, but nothing else. On like a concrete slab. It's just been built so that people have like a waypoint to build their tents or to put their carriages up on it, so that they don't have to just be like off to the side of the road. If people are going to be traveling to or from, they could still go to and from. And as you sort of do like a loop around it, you feel more than you see sort of the same vibe as like you've seen spell work and other people do at the Four Corners. So it seems like safe within, and then you get those feelings off of the Four Corners of everything.
I'm sensing that. I'm going to suggest maybe we should try to get the carriage onto the concrete, into the safety of, and maybe that'll be enough to keep them out.
Right, but the problem is we'd be stuck here. The next time we leave, which ideally would be tomorrow morning, they're just going to start stalking
Or we
us
get
again.
the carriage and the crate into that and then take our stand. So that's one less thing to worry about.
Maybe, yeah.
Good eye on that, Vapor.
I just figured there had to be some reason people stopped here. But
It certainly isn't the scenery.
yeah. So
It's entirely up to you guys. You can absolutely kind of get yourself up on the pavilion, which I'm going to give as freebie to the magic users. There are definitely protection wards here. They're sort of as neutral a protection ward as it can be. Basically, it's just very much for anyone who were to camp here. Nobody could cast anything, or anyone with like malicious intent wouldn't be able to do anything to your stuff while you're on the platform. So you can camp for the evening, get some rest, make a decision. You could also totally make an ambush situation if you want to try and knock this out head on. No one's tried to wake up the nobleman. You could obviously do that if you wanted, or you could investigate the crate. So you guys have options.
I thought Onyx was whispering sweet nothings in his ear while he was holding him, or she was holding him.
I feel like it's a lot of
just slowly cindering the outside of his coat just by holding him.
yeah.
So, Bram is going to walk over to Onyx and Brandy Feather, and he's going to place his hand on Brandy Feather's forehead, and you're gonna see like inky tendrils come out of the palm of his hand and wrap around Brandy Feather's head. And I'm going to use Shared Trauma, which is a spell. Once per short rest, I can transfer a number of hit points from any willing creature to another willing creature. So I'm going to give him one of my hit points, and I'm going to take one of the hit points of damage that mechanically he took to be unconscious.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and mark all your stuff you need to mark. And you basically what this is going to accomplish is take that last stress so that he can at least come to, if I'm understanding what you're trying to do.
Right.
Perfect. Okay. So
I'm just gonna grip tighter so he doesn't try to escape.
nice. So you managed to get Brandy Feather up, and he's very out of it. He's like, wah, 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 wah. He's like reaching for one of his handkerchiefs. Just, what's happening? What did you do to me?
We didn't do anything to you.
We did. We brought you back to consciousness.
Well,
You're welcome.
Besides that,
And we've been keeping you alive.
Thank you. Did you do something before?
Perhaps you could tell us. You were alone in the carriage, and when we opened the door, you were unconscious.
There are malignant spirits about that seem to be very interested in you and the crate.
I told you I don't know anything about the damned thing. I should have never. I should have known. I should have just stayed out of it. There was no reason for me to be around that damned thing.
I don't suppose your friends who enlisted your aid for this dabble in, oh, I don't know, sorcery, necromancy, magic, death, ghosts, anything out of the supernatural or extraordinary?
Quite the opposite. My friend is a warlock, and he is chosen by the god of light.
You
As a player, I don't know if that's something that ghosts would be. I assume what ghosts would be afraid of, but do I have any knowledge of a warlock
Yeah.
in this light?
So the important part there is just that warlocks have patrons that push their magic. Their magic tends to be either genetic, and like the family has entirely the same magic, or the patron that picks them specifically guides their magic. So if he's saying that his friend is a warlock and specifically their patron is the dedicated god of light, that's sort of like the opposite of everything you guys are around currently.
Okay.
I'll also give you a bit of a freebie because you got information from him earlier. Remember that he was just told to bring this to that farming family, the sort of like farm nobles. And that was all he was told to bring this to them, and he had to get through the woods to do it. And there was a set time frame
Right.
that he had to do it for, but that was all. There was no other information. He wasn't told like why he was giving this gift to them. It seems very much like the play here was to like get through the woods for some reason.
So, do we maybe want to try? I mean, some of us, I mean, I haven't, but I know there's a handful of us who have taken some amount of, you know, stress and wear and tear. Do we maybe want to take like a short rest in the protection of the shelter and then potentially try to do some sort of ambush scenario, deal with the ghosts, that kind of thing?
That is
What have you?
absolutely an option.
I'm feeling fresh as a daisy. I say we deal with them now. But Bram, you may be feeling otherwise, or Riven, you with your little extraplanar activity.
I'll
I
be
don't want to
fine.
speak for you. Good. Always the brave face.
We should. I'll be fine. I'm not as stressed as I let on.
Nah, you're cool as a summer vegetable of some sort.
Some sort that I know nothing of.
we at least set this ambush up close to this protection ward, so in case things go poorly, we can quickly retreat.
Sorry. That's a good point. Just to let you know, and I look to our patron, you're currently the center point of an ambush plan.
He's gonna
It's a
kind
very
of
nice way of saying bait.
he's gonna kind of blink, and you see like the moment that you realize he's not smart enough to know what you're telling him.
Good. I very much appreciate this. So to Annika's point, and I'm gonna just kind of put my very spooky hands hovering over his shoulders. I'm not touching him, and I'm just gonna like gesture like come this way, and I'm gonna kind of like try to get him to move close to the ward, but not inside the ward.
Okay.
Onyx, still holding him, follows where you're going and just sets him down where you want him.
Oh, you're still carrying him.
Yeah.
I hadn't let go.
He's so confused right now. He's like in a bride hold by one of the the elemental children. He's got like a singed coat now. He's been woken up. He's been attacked. He's told you everything he knows. You're doing like this to him with like spooky hands, and then he just gets like upturned into the circle, and he's just like,
Good. Just stay here. You all get the carriage into the safety. And I'll be here with our friend, and I'm gonna just kind of step over him and sink into the ground through him.
oh goodness. Okay.
Vapor is going to pull a torch out and just kind of gently bonk Onyx on the head to light the torch. Just so that it's a little easier for him to see.
That's beautiful.
You know, you also have fire within you.
I'm aware.
I like flick it a little to make the make the flame go just the tiniest bit hotter and like jolt it just in front of his face, just to bug him as it settles back down. And then go to the cart and like, are we taking the crate out of the cart and putting the crate in, or are we taking the whole carriage and like horses and everything into the pavilion?
Up to you guys. It's big enough that you can. It's however you guys want to set this up. So for time's sake, because we're kind of coming to the end of where this one and done adventure will be, there's a couple little things you guys got to figure out. But you guys are going to take your short rest. Nothing's going to happen during that period because you do have the wards that you found. How do you guys want to set up this ambush that you're thinking of? Like, do you just want to kind of like pretend like you abandoned the nobleman in the box? Do you want to like hide and just leave the stuff like you went to go look? This is up to you guys and how you think best for your characters that this would be set up.
I don't think we're going to take the short rest.
Okay.
I think that's what we agreed on, and I think we need to set up the nobleman in the box just outside of the ward so that they can actually get to them.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I
close enough
kind of like put him right here outside of it so that you all can hide inside the ward, whereas I'm like under the ground directly underneath him, and I'm gonna cast a spell to try and lock them in place when they get close enough.
So do we want the crate in the protected area or outside the protected area with Brandy Feather?
I think I said just outside. I think we want to get it to a place where they could actually get to it so that they're not just, bouncing off the wards.
Yeah.
They
So
seem
I think
more interested in him than the crate.
Well, he can be tossed
Yeah.
into the wards if needed.
Low column A, low column
I
B.
think yeah.
Okay.
So I think Onyx will like drag the crate outside of the carriage, like put it on one shoulder and carry it over, and like put it next to Brandy Feather. As like, here, have a present. Just so we don't have to worry about them like getting into, like we can see what their two targets, and it's not hidden within the carriage.
I am never unimpressed by your feats of strength, Onyx.
Okay. So then very
And then I
important
guess-
question, where does everyone want to be placed? I understand what you're saying about you want basically to be like just outside the wards or the package and the person. But where do you guys specifically like hiding out in the open? What's the gameplay here?
Blending in
So-
with trees.
Most of the stuff that I can do is from far range anyway.
Mhm.
So I can pretty much be like a sniper.
Okay.
I mean, Is there anywhere somewhat close to be able to hide besides just like on top of the roof of the pavilion?
There's on top of the roof. You guys are still in the forest. You're in a clearing, so like you could hide within the gnarled trees, and it's dark, so I mean you would be able to find a hiding place sort of around the clearing if you wanted to. You could technically hide in the carriage as long as you get a good enough sneak on that.
Lena's going to choose to hide in the trees. She also can mostly attack from far.
Okay.
Before we disappear into the tree line, is there anybody in particular who uses a lot of hope? I know that we talked about stress earlier, but is there anybody who like could use more hope? Because like the only thing that I really have to use hope for is my hope feature and my familiar, which is already summoned.
That's
No,
fine.
I'm good on
You can
hope.
use it. You
The
can
re-
use it to assist people during.
Um,
If we get,
the reason I ask is because my Hearthborn community feature allows me to transfer my hope to somebody
I would take a
once per
hope
long rest.
if you
I
have one.
I have a few things that I can use hope for, but
So
I don't want to take it from you if you're going to need it.
I really, like I said, I really don't need it other than like we mentioned, using it to help somebody else, or like I can, if you have like specific features that you can use hope for.
I have a few things I can use hope for.
All right, so Bram is going to walk over to you and clasp your hand firmly, like predator handshake, and you're gonna just feel that warmth come through the handshake into your arm, and you get 2 hope.
do you have any inspiring words for him?
Don't fuck it up.
Straight to the point.
I think Vapor's just gonna go to the edge. Well, he's gonna set the torch, kind of stick it into the ground, just like at the edge of the protective area, so the area is somewhat lit. And then just like run over, get a little bit of running start, and climb up one of the poles. Like, I'm assuming there's poles at the corners of the pavilions for support, and he's just gonna climb up and get up onto the roof.
Okay.
And he's just gonna hide up there.
Easy peasy.
So seeing Vapor up there, Onyx is gonna go right to like the closest like forest edge to the pavilion that they can, and kind of crouch down, and you kind of see her focus for a second, and like the brightness of the lava like within her dim slightly, and it starts slowly just looking more and more just like a rock to hide.
Okay. So here's how we're gonna do it. Let's do it this way so that I can get a mental image. So Vapor's on top of the pavilion. I've got Helena hiding in the trees. I think Bram also hiding in the trees. Ari, remind me where you're placing yourself.
I sunk into the ground directly underneath
Under the
our friend. Yeah.
Got it. And then Onyx, I heard what you said with your description. Just remind me where you placed yourself so that I can be mental map.
It's like it's not in the trees, it's like literally right on the edge, just trying to like become like a rock on the edge of the clearing, so I can still also keep an eye up on Vapor.
Understood. Camouflage attempt. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys settle in for a little bit. And a little bit of time goes by. Probably close to another hour. And you guys are all kind of dragging at this point. You've been going the whole day. You're trying to stay vigilant. Lots of things have happened. I'm going to say, especially those who are like actively using some of their powers, like Riven, I know you can go into your form and you're good, but it's probably starting to wear on you a little bit. Nothing's happening. And everyone feels that sudden chill that you felt from earlier. Starts right at the top of your head, makes its way down your spine. And then you hear Brandy Feather give a loud gasp. And as you guys kind of glance over, he's got one of those hooded figures with their like shadow claws about to dig into his shoulders as if it had just appeared behind him.
I will cast Shadowbind
Okay.
against all adversaries within very close range.
Okay.
I have to make a spell cast roll.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask if I can use my Silent as the Grave experience.
You are literally underground right now, so I feel it would be a disservice if I said no.
And I add, so that's, I'm only adding a +3 to this because my spell cast is +1.
Okay.
That is a 16 with hope.
Okay. That's gonna get it, I guess. Okay, so you managed to bind this figure.
And you said that it's like a shadowy, like almost shadowy figure. I like to think that it stiffens up.
Yeah.
And is just like stuck in place over him.
It's like in cartoons when they get hit with like plaster or something and they just like freeze.
And I'd essentially like to just come up from under the ground right in front of it.
Okay.
You're a freaky little fellow, aren't you?
Says the other ghost.
Right. Okay.
I
I'd
think.
like you to meet my friend Kettle.
Yeah. I think Onyx, if she sees him freeze, or like the entity whatever freeze, is gonna just like pop up, start running, and as they run, their fists, like you kind of see like all of the magma and the fire that's like living in her veins rush towards her hands as they ignite, and she's gonna start going and charge and try and punch at this thing.
Okay.
You know, there were 2 more.
We're there.
She's not that smart. She sees an enemy.
Helena, give me a instinct.
Nice. 25 with hope.
Jeez.
Okay. That'll do it. As you kind of have that thought, as you're again sort of in the trees paying attention, and you have that thought of like, there were 2 other figures. You spot one specifically coming up out of the ground towards the crate.
Okay. Ooh, I get to choose one. I don't know that Voice of Dread would work on a ghost. She's just going to immediately bring up her hand. She's got a gold band across her fingers that she uses for weapon, but she's going to blading strike the ghost, try and turn it into less corporeal dust.
Okay.
Let's see what we get here. Yeah, I don't think that's a hit. That's a 9 with fear.
Does not, unfortunately. Okay.
Me reaching and punching?
Oh, wait a second.
Can I
Hold on.
do that one with the spotlight chips?
So as you go to hit this thing, the first thing you notice is that the physical attacks you're trying to do.
Can I make a change here?
Sure.
I'm going to use my Witch's Charm, which is my class feature. Mm-hmm. When you or an ally within far range rolls a failure on an action roll, I can spend 3 hope to change into a success with fear instead. Okay. I'm going to spend the 3 hope to use that.
Got it. Okay. Sure. Finishing thought. Sorry. You notice right away, like, you have no problem getting over there and going at this thing. But the physical attack that you're trying to do, it's just sort of like going through this. Almost like you're, like, in cartoons, if you try to hit like a hologram or, like a literal ghost. So the physical brunt that you're trying to do, it's just not affecting this being.
Cool.
So am I able to roll damage on that as a success with fear?
Did you roll with fear or hope? Originally,
I
were you flipping it? I thought you were flipping it
roll.
from fear to
I
hope.
Nope. I rolled with fear. My class feature. When I roll a failure on an action roll, I can spend 3 hope to change it into a success with fear instead.
Oh, I missed the success part. I thought we were just changing it over from hope to fear.
No.
Here
I
you
have
go,
other
GM.
things
Have
for
a
that.
free fear.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I'm
some
not going to give her as
classes
it is.
that makes a lot of sense because when they bank fear and stuff, they have like effects that they can do. And I think one of the
Yeah.
witches, like, there's a reason for you to bank fear. I can't remember which spell or which one it is, but either or. Yes. Yeah. So you change it to a success. So go ahead. Because this is magical. So yeah.
It is a spell. Yep, even better. So as she goes to make this attack, if anyone happens to be looking, her facade changes. Her illusion has to drop, and you see kind of a more haggard patch. You see her natural form. Those who've seen it, so the glamour is gone. But blighting strike actually does more damage on a success with fear. So even better. 9. That is only 10 damage magic.
Okay. Okay. You hit it with your magic, and it's not going to react in the way of a normal being, because if you were attacking like a normal being, you would have like those hit points, you would have these things. What you notice right away when you hit it with the magic damage is it screeches, and it, like, part of the shadows actually start to like dissipate a little bit. So this is probably a summoned of some sort, and it probably has like a finite amount of that damage that it can take. And that's all I will give you.
So, question about being a ghost.
Yes. Sure.
Both of my weapons are physical damaging, but I'm currently in ghost form.
Yes.
Do I get the sense that I could attack these things?
I'm okay with that logic. Mostly
Okay.
because I'm looking at this from like Danny Phantom logic, and like
Yeah.
he can only use certain things when he's in ghost form. So
So
like
what I want to do is I want to use my grappler,
okay.
which has a close range. I imagine I'm in melee range with the ghost I have restrained,
Mhm.
And I want to try to just like latch onto it with my grappler.
Okay.
I looked at the ghost transform card, and don't you spend hope to attack something when you're
If I'm
incorporeal?
attacking something in the physical, where is it? You can spend 2 hope to attack or physically interact with the material world, but this is a ghost.
Gotcha. It's
So I'm trying.
incorporeal. Gotcha.
So using this in regards
Ghost hunt.
to a non-corporeal to another non-corporeal
Yeah.
kind of fits that like niche loophole, so to
They're in the
speak.
same world.
Right.
And
Ghost on ghost violence.
I'd like to, if possible, use the line between life and death is so very thin experience.
That's fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is a Um, 19 with hope.
Okay. Yes, that hits.
That hits. Okay. I then am gonna use my use a hope to use my whirlwind feature
Sheesh. Okay.
to take that 19 and apply it to any other enemies within very close. I'm assuming the other one is within very close, and I kind of just want to like use the grappler to like swing the other ghost into the one by the crate.
Okay. So you're wanting to kind of use it as one swift motion, the one that got hit
Yeah.
by the blight that was going towards the crate, and then kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, I understand. Cool. Okay. Okay.
So that's 2d6 physical damage that I'm rolling. Oh, sweet. That's 12.
Love that.
That's
For you.
that's
not
max
me.
damage.
Okay. Joe, remind me how much you hit the first one for one more time. I think it was.
So the
10.
first one takes 12 damage. The second one takes half damage.
No worries. I was talking about the first one that you hit with the blight. 10. Thank you. Which is fine because the half damage is going to be able to take out the second one. The first one's not looking good. So the one that hasn't been hit is still standing, but the one that already got hit is not.
Yeah.
And you notice that as it like dies, so to speak, it just dissipates into shadows with like this like really nice noise.
And I'm just kind of like holding the shadow in place, like trying to keep it in that like away from our patron.
Let's hope it isn't able to reform and come back.
With all of this going on down below him, would Vapor be able to be like, wait, 1 + 1 is 2? And kind of
Yeah.
look for the third one?
Absolutely. Give me.
This might be a stretch, but would I be able to use sea legs as in keeping my cool in a hectic situation?
It's a little bit of a stretch, but I understand. You're saying that like under pressure, like on the ocean, you have to kind of I'll allow it. Especially we're definitely coming up to the end of this, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Balls to the wall. Why not?
Cool. I'm also gonna spend some of my Seaborn feature that I have currently saved up 3 checks because I've rolled with fear every time today. So I'm going to spend some of that to add to this check.
Okay.
So that's a 13 with fear again. Sorry, 14 with fear.
Okay. That one, yeah, that'll work for what you need. So, Vapor's up over the ledge, like kind of watching all of this happen, and you see like the sort of like processing bubble, just like 1 + 1 + 2 + 1, like in your head. You go, oh shit. And then you glance over and you notice that the final figure is looming at the edge of the clearing, has not moved, is just there. And they are focusing particularly on what's happening.
Okay. Would that realization be the end of my spotlight, or could I follow up with
No,
that?
keep going. You're good. I'm not going
Okay.
to spend anything just yet. Probably won't because, like I said, I've spent a couple things.
I'm really sorry. It may not matter in the long run, but I'm supposed to do double damage on my first attack as an assassin. So that should have been 24 damage against the big ghost.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, cool. So that would have killed both of them, basically, which I'm fine with. But
I'm sorry.
no,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's like I missed something.
No, you're good. This is all new material for us, so that's a part of
I
why.
say it's not like you've been playing an assassin for a while, have you?
Yeah.
No.
No, you're totally good. That's not going to change anything for the current scene.
Yeah. Sorry.
So then, noticing this one figure standing at the edge of the clearing kind of concentrating on what's going on, I would like to use my deft maneuvers feature.
Okay.
To mark a stress.
Mhm.
And to immediately sprint anywhere within far range without making an agility roll to get there. And if I end that movement within melee range of an adversary and attack, I get a +1 bonus to the attack roll.
Okay. So spotlight's yours.
And then
Tell
I
me how you want to do it.
So I'm on top of this pavilion, like looking down, doing this mental realization, looking around, noticing it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like push my, because I imagine I was like lying down, like looking over. So I want to like push myself up, land on my feet, run to the edge of the pavilion,
Mm-hmm.
and then just like jump and launch myself forward as like a bunch of steam erupts from these like vents, like underground, like volcanic glacier, vents that you would see.
Mm-hmm.
This steam just like kind of erupts behind me as I'm like propelled towards this figure in the distance, and I just like stick the landing and like come up like with an uppercut to it, and hopefully that this one can get punched. But if not, that's fine.
This one can be punched.
Yay!
No. Good job. Do you need to roll to hit, or is that like a spell?
Yeah, I need to make an attack. I just that's just gets me to it. So,
Go ahead.
This is going to be my unarmed strike.
Okay.
That is a 16 with fear.
Okay.
Is that a hit?
It is mostly
Okay.
because he was distracted.
Okay.
Doing other things, so that gives him a little bit of a detriment. Yes, so that does hit. With fear, it just means that I'm gonna get kind of a chance to react to that.
After the damage, or but in part of it?
Would you like me to use my action to make it a success with hope instead? We can fix that.
It's end of game. Why not?
Sure.
Okay.
Use all the things.
Helena is from a freeborn community. They were under a tyrannical dictator, and there was a suicide pact, but they are now free. And once per session, I can. Oh no! It's when I make it. I can't change yours.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
So then,
I'm sorry. It's my Aetheris one. Once per rest when an ally within close range rolls with fear, you can make it a roll with hope instead. There we
okay.
go.
So I get a hope for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes it. So instead of me getting to take the spotlight and do a reaction, you get to do your attack. And it does hit, so go ahead.
Cool. So, time to use all the things.
All the
All
things.
Do it.
So, because I hit, I get to do 2d8 plus 2d6 damage.
Okay.
And I am going to spend a stress.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I make the damage roll first. So,
Mhm.
so that's going to be 20, but I'm going to mark a stress to perform a combo strike.
Okay.
So I roll my combo die and note its value, which is a 6. And then I roll my combo die again, which is a 3. If the
Okay.
second number was higher, I'd keep going, but it's not.
Okay.
So I deal 29 damage.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be 20? Wouldn't it be 26? Would you take that second damage?
No, I
Even
get,
though it's
I
not
get,
higher?
it's because my total was 20. I rolled a 6 and then a 3. So
you
add the value of all of them.
But then you don't
But then
go
you stop.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, all of them, but then okay, I wasn't sure
You
if
total
you don't.
all rolled values.
Okay.
in that
See,
bit
it's
of
in
hope.
front of me. I still didn't understand it, so thanks.
Okay. Yep.
That's the beauty of some of these things. Like some of them you have to really have an action to understand, because if you don't, it's so hard with just the wording on stuff. Okay. Well, you hit my guy. I don't really like that. No, it's okay. You
Seeing,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, seeing him vapor jump, uh, Onyx is just gonna start running after him, and then if you want to do something else, I don't have to hit just right away. But Onyx is definitely just gonna get up next to Vapor.
Okay. So for sake of ease, mostly because like I said, we're kind of coming to the end of this for you guys. We could technically go for probably another hour and a half if we wanted to, if this was a campaign or
absolutely.
whatever. But because it's 9:30 here my time, and I'd like a little bit of time with my boyfriend before I go to bed, and all that fun stuff. And you've pretty much knocked all the things that I needed to get done here. You uppercut this guy, and as you do, that skull facade that you kind of saw previous comes flying off. It was a mask. And there's a gaunt gentleman underneath it. And it's not going to knock him entirely out, but you are definitely going to subdue him to the point where you can kind of just like throat hold him and you're just like, look, Big Sis, I did it.
Yeah. I got the bad guy.
I did it. We're proud.
Scooby-Doo would have got away with it too if it wasn't for your meddling kids.
Yep.
And
That's
your
me in a
ghost.
nutshell.
All right. I'm going to call shenanigans on here. It better not be Mayor Raisins.
No, it's not. That'd be fun. I'm terrible at French accents, so I would never. Anyway, that was a really big part of. I did a Clue themed game, like movie and board game, and every time that I had to do Yvette, I dreaded talking because I am so bad at French accents. I can usually do other ones, but French I just can't do. So every time I had to speak for her, I was like, "Fucking hell!" Ugh.
A Clue game sounds so fun.
Yeah, I still have it.
haven't
I
seen
ran
that
it.
movie in forever.
When you did the 1 + 1 + 2 + 1 thing, I was going to go, yes, but it was 1 + 1. If it was 1 + 1 + 2 + 1, not 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Look, Clue and Princess Bride, I quote pretty constantly in my life. That just always, anytime I can. Yeah, no, it's a really fun game. It's based off of my friend's system called Wicked Packs, which Joe has played at con with me. They were all different mages.
Please run it.
Yeah, I did run it on the server once. I could absolutely run it again. It's super fun.
Okay.
It's actually a game that has 6 different endings that you guys get to pick within the first 30 minutes of gameplay. So it's pretty fun. But
That sounds cool.
for the purpose of this one,
Back to this.
yes. So you guys in pretty quick order managed to subdue, get this guy kind of set, calm down your patron, and the story comes out basically that your patron's friend was not worried about getting you guys to the wedding. He was worried because this is the dark wizard warlock, pardon me, that basically is in charge of these woods, has been for years, ongoing feud with the warlock of light, and he was sending in this warded item that was going to basically fuck with his internal dark wards and all the things and give him the chance to take over that territory. So it was an attempt to take it over. Now, if this were a campaign frame, you guys would be able to kind of decide what you wanted to do. You could maybe hear the Lord of Darkness's pleas and see what he wants, or decide if you want to take it back, destroy it. There's a lot of different options you could have gone there. For the sake of this, you guys basically just subdue, get the story, and make your own ending, whatever you want. Right off into the sunset, right off into the darkness, whatever makes you happy.
I say go to the wedding and have drinks.
Exactly. So yeah, you guys did a good job. We got to hit some shit. We got to use a lot of fun things. You guys did some good problem solving. I appreciate that.
I have 9 brand new printed cards in front of me that I got to learn tonight. So
This was actually very helpful because in a super secret future project that we're currently working on, I have one of mine is a witch, and specifically a moon witch. So I was very pleased that someone picked that so I could kind of play around with those a little bit. And then one of the NPCs that I'll be using is going to be a brawler. So that was a good kind of to get an idea of how those work and all that fun jazz. I did a little bit of line work. I'll probably finish coloring later because my iPad's about to die. But the ADHD was strong tonight, so I was doing some character lines while we were talking. That's why I was looking this way instead of this way like I normally do. But I'll drop that in the chat for you guys. And like I said, I'll finish coloring later. But
Yes, I saw the drawing glove on.
so sometimes just having the camera on helps and I'm good. Like I don't always have to draw and I'll usually go after and do it. My I don't know, my ADHD today has just been really all over the place. So like I needed sort of like a hard focus. Otherwise I was losing it.
Your day started with, I want to do a Daggerheart campaign, and then you made it in like, what, 2 hours?
Just give or take, it's fine. I think it's funny. Parker was like, what do you mean you haven't planned anything? Bro, I decided this like 20 minutes after I rolled out of bed.
That's when ADHD's at its best. Time crunch. Let's go.
I
Don't think I didn't notice your shirt too.
Oh yeah.
This whole week I was like, I want to play Daggerheart. I want to play Daggerheart. I want to play Daggerheart.
Yeah.
And then I'm the only person who wants to like GM Daggerheart in my normal friend group.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's all I ever get to do. So I was like, I have this character, I want to play it. And then we're like, I'm going to do Daggerheart. And I was like, yes!
He's made so many characters.
I feel like that's happened like the last 3 times that you had a character you wanted to do though. Like, because the last like 3 characters, it was like, oh my god, yes, one shot. I have a character. It's already made.
I was like, do it. Because it was Ryle, and then it was Emil, and then it was Riven. And I was just like, yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead.
Save me from my...
I'm going to end our stream really quickly, so say goodbye, stream people.
Goodbye, stream people.
Hi, stream people.
Thank you for anyone who watched, and I'll